Hi everyone, so Kayla here, and today I just wanted to talk about the macronutrients. So I'm not going to be going on about weight loss, muscle gain, or what you should do to balance all of these out in order to achieve any goals. I really just want to talk about what each of them do, why they're important, and what they are basically. So that way you have a good idea on, how to go about using them in your diet. So before I go on, just don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment if any of this was useful to you or if you'd like me to elaborate on anything in the future. And in the future, I will probably do videos about, weight loss and all those sort of things involving the macronutrients as well. So let's just get right into it. So everybody generally knows we have our three macronutrients, right? We have our fats, we have our proteins, and we have our carbohydrates. But what do all of them do? What are they for, right? So first, let's talk about the fats. So the fats are used as a secondary source of stored energy. The first one is the carbohydrates. I'll get to those after. But our fats are used as a form of energy. They are used to cushion the organs. They make certain hormones, which is something we need, right? So we want to eat our fats. They are used for the absorption of some vitamins. So vitamins A, D, E, and K, if we're not having enough fat in our diet, our body won't absorb these vitamins properly. They help our cell membrane integrity, so they help with cell formation and stuff like that. So obviously, needless to say, we need our fats, right? Let's go into it a little bit further though, and just talk about the three different types of fats that there are. So we have our trans fats, our saturated fats, and our unsaturated fats. Now our trans fats are the ones that we generally want to avoid. You'll find these in processed foods, fried foods, pastries, the not so healthy options. Not that you can't have them at all, but you don't want these taking up the primary source of your fats that you're eating. Your saturated fats, try to have, an adequate or a little amount of these. These come from animal products such as your meats, your cheeses, your butters, your milk. And it's not that they're unhealthy or anything. It's just that some studies show that having too much of these can apparently lead to high cholesterol, heart disease, whatever it is. There's all sorts of debates as to what's healthy and not healthy, but this is just the general rule of thumb sort of thing. But then our unsaturated fats are what is considered to be our healthy fats. So these you find in avocados, nuts, oils, fish, and generally unsaturated fats you will find in a liquid form, such as our oils, right? So this is basically, in a nutshell, the basics of fats. Obviously we can go into more detail about all this stuff, but I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible for today. So we need our fats. How much fat do we need? It depends on you, it depends on your particular diet, depends on your needs, right? I don't want to go on in this video about what you should be doing with all of these. I just want to get you an idea that you understand that you need all of these. And depending on your particular needs, your particular diet, maybe your health or whatever related, you might need more or less fat than somebody else. So I'm not going to go too much into that today, but needless to say, you need your fats, right? Now your proteins. So your proteins build and repair tissue and they help protect your muscles. So I'm sure you've heard that, if you want to build muscle, then you're told to eat more protein, and that's because protein is used for building and repairing muscle tissue. So needless to say, you need to eat more protein in order to do that. How much more? Again, I'm not going to go into that, but that's something to look into if that's something you're interested in. Now there are two types of proteins that are worth talking about here. So proteins are made of something called amino acids, and there are two types. There's the essential amino acids and non-essential. And basically what that means is non-essential is amino acids you don't need to worry about including into your diet because your body makes these naturally. So essential are the ones that you need to eat in your diet because we don't make those in our body naturally, right? So easy enough. I'm not going to go into all of them and all the detail about them, but basically it's very easy to get them because if you're eating animal products, if you're eating meats, cheeses, your milk, your butter, whatever, if you're eating animal products, then you're going to get all of your essential amino acids, no problem. However, if you are a vegetarian or somebody who can't or doesn't eat animal products for whatever reason, then you want to add a variety of plant-based proteins to your diet in order to get all of your essential amino acids. So if you're eating beans, lentils, nuts, seeds, different fruits and vegetables, and adding a good variety in your diet, you will get all of your essential amino acids. So, protein, you need it. Fats, you need it. How much depends on you and exactly how your diet and lifestyle goes. Now let's get to carbohydrates, which I really like talking about because too many people try to lose weight by cutting out all the carbs and going on crazy diets that aren't realistic and aren't good for your long-term and overall health, because we do need our carbs. It's just a matter of figuring out how to balance them for you properly. So let's talk about our carbs. So they are the body's main source of stored energy. So they are the first things that your body are going to go after in order to, have the energy to do the things that it's trying to do. Secondary will be the fats. So basically what happens with carbs is when you eat carbs, your body turns them into glucose, otherwise known as sugar. And what's going to happen is either your body is going to use it right away or it's going to store it, okay? So you're going to either use it right away or it'll get stored into your muscles or liver first, and liver. So your muscles and your liver are going to store extra glucose for later use, and then if your muscles and your liver become full and they have enough of that glucose, then the rest gets stored into body fat for later use afterwards. So this is how people start to gain weight, is they have way more than they need. And it's not just carbs, too many fats and too many proteins, too many calories overall, you're going to gain weight. But this is the basics on how carbs work, okay? Now carbs, what do? They help synthesize some amino acids. So if you're not having your carbs, then your body's not going to be able to use your proteins properly. It regulates blood sugar, so that's important. It's great for your digestive health, because this is where you get your fiber. It has a lot of your micronutrients, so a lot of your vitamins and minerals and all that stuff comes from carbs. So if you're cutting out all your healthy carbs, you're cutting out a lot of micronutrition, which is incredibly important for your long-term and overall health, right? So there are two different types of carbs. We have our simple and our complex carbs. Our simple carbs are basically found mostly in sweets, and they're super easy for your body to break down. And the thing is they don't keep you full. They're not the healthy carbs that you want to go after. These are the ones that you find in all your sugary goods, and you can eat a lot more of these and you won't get full. And this is why people can eat so many simple carbs, otherwise your sweets and your goodies, because they don't actually fill you up, because your body breaks them down super easy. So what you want to go after is more of the complex carbs. They take time for your body to break down, making you feel fuller longer. So these are your healthy carbs, your grains, your pastas, your breads, and then your starchy vegetables and your fruits, and all the good things that you should be eating in your diet versus your sweets and your snacks and all that stuff. So also in our complex carbs, this is where we find our fiber. And fiber is important for your overall health, it's important for your regularity, it's important for your gut health, and you should be having a regular amount of fiber throughout the entire day, not just kind of a whole bunch in one sitting. That's not how fiber works. It doesn't get stored like most carbs, like sugar. It gets used as you eat it. So you need to have fiber throughout the whole day rather than all in one shot. It's not the best way to have fiber. And then also our complex carbs carry most of our nutrients. And these are what help regulate our blood sugar. So simple carbs are what spike up our blood sugar, and it causes irritability, moodiness. This is the sort of things that go into diabetes and all those sort of other health problems, is whenever we have too many simple carbs, spiking our blood sugars at crazy amounts. But the complex carbs, whenever you have a healthy amount of those, this is how we regulate and manage our blood sugar for long-term health. So, there's a lot of information, I know, but basically what I'm trying to get across to you, whoever's listening, is that we need all of these in order to live a healthy and fit and whatever lifestyle that you're trying to live. You need all of them. Everybody's going to have a different balance on how much of each you're going to have based on your particular goals, your particular needs, your particular health issues. If you have a health problem, then you might need to have more or less of something. It all depends on you, right? So I'm not going to go into how you're going to balance them out, but basically the best way to have these is to try and balance them out with every meal throughout the day. So with every meal, you want to try and have your fats, proteins, and carbs every single time, as best you can, as balanced as possible. It's tricky sometimes to balance them out perfectly all the time, but unless you have a really serious need to balance them out perfectly all the time, then really as long as you're balancing them out relatively throughout the day, then you're living a pretty healthy lifestyle. And as long as you're sticking to wholesome foods, that's really the number one trick. Like, don't worry about trying to remember which fats are the healthiest and which carbs are the healthiest. Stick to wholesome foods, stick to your fruits, stick to your vegetables, stick to your grains, stick to your meats and your cheeses if you eat animal products, your beans and whatnot if you don't. stick to the one ingredient options as much as possible, make things from scratch as much as possible, and try to avoid the processed stuff as much as possible. The more you do that, the healthier you'll become. The more you learn to balance these out, the healthier and the happier your body will be. And then it's just a matter of deciding how much of everything you need and in a way that works for you, for your goals, and so on and so forth. So hopefully this was a little bit helpful. If it was, leave a like, leave a comment below. If there's something you think I should have gone into more detail about, or anything at all that you can leave some information on for me, go ahead and leave it in the comments. I would really appreciate that. And for now, that's all. I will make future videos about maybe different ways you can balance these out for different goals and different lifestyles as well. But for now, that's all. So I hope everybody has a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!